YouTube? Welcome to TMC Fishing. Like always, I appreciate you guys for watching. So today, we're doing something a little different. We're back out at the desert pond, and if you guys saw a couple weeks ago, I did a video about how this pond's been going dry all year because we didn't get any snow or rain or anything on the mountains this year, and I was really scared it was going to go dry. Turns out I think I spoke a little too soon, because this last week we had 3 storms roll through, and now the mountains got lots of snow and there's water flowing in here. So it's not as high as I was hoping it was going to be after so much snow melt. But hopefully it continues to roll in and it keeps climbing up. It's about a foot higher than it was last time I was out here. So that's just a good sign. I'm really hoping that it keeps going up and up. Also, I got this month's 6 cents bag. So I do the monthly subscription for 6 cents. And so every month you get random tackle from their stuff. You get a lot of their stuff before it comes out and different lures and products like that. So today I really wanted to try using only what's in this bag, just as kind of a product review test kind of thing. It's all 6 cents products, and there's some really interesting stuff in here that I'm going to show you guys later. I got a couple soft plastics, I got a hard bait, and the goal is just to see if we can catch a fish on every single bait in here. That's the end goal for today, and then try and get an assessment on how well this body of water is doing, because now we've got a unique situation where all the fish were pretty much spawning or getting ready to spawn, and now we've got pure snow melt rolling in. So that's probably going to be dropping this water temp pretty dramatically, because it's probably no more than 40-degree water rolling in. So I'm curious if it's going to push the spawn back or if it's going to keep happening. But like always, guys, I appreciate you for watching, and let's go catch some fish. All right, so these are the first 2 baits we're starting off the day with. This is called the Bambusa shad. It's a 5.3 inch ribbed stickworm, and this is in the blood apple color, which is a very interesting color. I really like it. And the way we're going to try this today is, to me, it screamed a good Nico worm, or even a good shaky head worm. I feel like it would do really well with that. So we're going to start off with this today. Is a little bit more finessey, and then we've got this new plug. Now it's got the L-shaped bill. I don't remember the name of it. I'll put it down below because I left the package for this one at home. But these L-shaped bills, there's a couple different companies making these crankbaits, and they're kind of a mix between like a lipless and a square bill. They're incredibly good at coming through wood and rock and structure, just like a square bill. But they also work really well in grass because they're super buoyant. They float crazy fast. So in place of using like a lipless and ripping through the grass, or even a chatterbait, you can throw one of these L-shaped cranks, and as soon as you start to feel the grass, you just stop reeling for a second and it'll float up above them. And so it's just, if you're trying to change up a presentation, give them something that they've never seen before, it's just something different. But we're going to start off with these 2 and work our way around for a bit, and then we'll try the other baits here, hopefully after we catch some fish on these. There's one. Well, that was quick. First fish of the day. And I left my pliers at the Ranger. All right, first fish of the day. Just a little tyke, but hit on the new 6 cents crank. A little bit about water conditions today. Is the water's still really clear like it normally is out here, but we actually have a lot of cloud cover today. So normally that tends to help the moving bite, and there's a little bit of wind causing some ripples. So I have a feeling that the cranking bite's going to be pretty good today. Because fishing super clear water is normally really tough with moving baits. So you want either some cloud cover, some wind, or something just to give you a little bit of a advantage. And then finesse-y stuff always works out here. Yeah, see, just boils all over the surface. There's a fish. Oh, it feels like a better one. All right. Much better fish. Turn it the other way. All right. Second fish of the day on the crank. A little better, you know, pounder. Really colored up. I love clear water bass because their lateral line and their colors really pop. And he doesn't feel very cold, so that's a good sign. Maybe these fish are going to get on bed here soon. All right, we caught a couple on the crank, but this side's, there's a big, real shallow flat right here, and that crank's kind of struggling to not catch mud. So we're gonna switch over to this new worm and see if I can work it a little slower across this flat. I'm seeing tons of activity on the surface, so I think it'll happen. Ooh. Oh, he had it on the drop. I didn't stick him good enough. Come back for it. He hit it as soon as it hit the water. I wasn't ready. Ooh, ooh. Got him. No. All right. First fish on the Busa worm. That was cool. Another pound and a halfer. Like I said, I'm loving the colors. This one's Lateralion isn't near as pronounced, but he's still super colored up in this clear water. Got the lipstick on, so that means they're probably getting close to spawning. Real quick, I got some important news, guys. We got our first channel partner, Keep It Real Fishing Apparel Company. They're a fishing apparel company that's made by fishermen for fishermen. They're based out of Texas, and whether you fish for saltwater or freshwater, they've got something for you. They make awesome shirts, hoodies, hats, and my personal favorite, polarized sunglasses. If you don't have a good pair of polarized glasses, you're missing out. The polarization helps cut out the sun glare on top of the water and really helps you see what's down below. These things are really slick because they're ultra light, crystal clear glass. And the best part, they float. If you ever drop them in the water, you don't lose them in the lake or pond or wherever you're fishing. I'm really excited to have this new partnership. And if you want any of these products that you see down below, I've got a link in the description. And if you use code TMC, you get 10% off on anything on the website. So it's a really good way to help support the channel, and I'd really appreciate it, guys. But like always, I appreciate you guys for watching, and let's get back to catching some fish. Well, there's number 2. Poor guy, sent him, almost threw him across the pond. He's gonna try and hook me for it. All right, well, there's number 2 for the Busa. Little sickly guy's fins are looking rough too. Tail's chewed up. Poor guy just needed a snack. Well, that's 2 on the Busa. There's a bit of a ledge right here, so I'm gonna try throwing the crankbait real fast, and then we're gonna go back to the Ranger and grab the other baits out of that bag and see if we can't keep the momentum. All right. All right, we're gonna go switch things up. I'll meet you guys back at the Ranger. All right, we're back at the Ranger, and we're gonna switch it up. So this is one of the other things I got. This is the Busa Ned. So it's just a smaller version of that Busa worm we were just using. This one is 3.3 inches, and it's primarily designed for fishing on a Ned rig, but this body water has a lot of that like snot grass and really stringy grass on the bottom. So I'm gonna try it on a drop shot and keep it up above that all that gunk. And the cool thing is this one's green pumpkin with like a red flake, and so a natural color is always going to be really good in this clear water. So I think this thing's for sure going to catch us fish. I'm very curious to see the action in the water. And this little tail really does wiggle quite a bit. Pretty impressed. And then the other thing we've got, this is called the Bodega. I had never seen this before. It came to me in this box. Look at that crazy looking thing. It's kind of like a creature bait with some long flowing limbs. I don't know. It came with some flipping hooks. And I initially thought about doing that, but another thought I had is letting this kind of fall down on what's called a Ozark rig. So an Ozark rig is this little guy right here, and I'll show you how you rig this. See if I can do it on the first try. Is normally on a Texas rig, right? You go straight in to the nose like that. Okay, on this you want to kind of angle a little bit and come down and through there. Then she's going to slide up. And you go past that little keeper there, and then it holds right there. And this hook goes in, and I'm hoping it's got enough hook. It seems like it. Oop, 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 too much. And it sits like this, and whenever it hits the water column, because the weight is evenly distributed on the front here, it kind of drifts down real slow, and I'm hoping these limbs kind of flow and make a lot of commotion. Now, it's going to take a bigger bass to want something of this presentation, I think, in here, depending on how aggressive one wants to be, but I'm really curious if we can get a bite on it. All right, we're going to start off with this Busa Ned here on the drop shot. I'm seeing tons of surface activity all through here, and really hoping I can pick one off. Trying not to get too close to the water. These fish are so spooky with this clear water. It's really tough to catch them off guard. You almost have to make really long bomber casts and aim for the fish that haven't seen you or had any kind of visual yet. But that's the problem with this pond, especially, is now we got the warming fronts coming through. This thing doesn't have good, like, nice grass like hydrilla or milfoil or anything like that. It's got that nasty, just snotty, stringy, nasty grass that makes everything difficult to throw in here. Now, when the water's up real high, there tends to be some good grass that grows in the back corners. That's a little better grass. I mean, it's still that real stringy stuff, but it kind of makes mats, and the fish really seem to relate to it. And last year I had a lot of good luck throwing like flukes and wacky rigs right there. There's fish. Picked it up off the bottom. Doesn't feel very big. I say that, and he's probably the biggest fish of the day. Oh, yeah, for sure, biggest fish of the day. Ooh, barely had him hooked. All right, that's a better fish for sure. He's got a big head on him. Still pretty skinny, but not super unhealthy. That's good to see. That's the first fish on the Busa Ned, so that's bait 3 checked off the list. So we only got one more. We're gonna fish this last bank. I'm thinking by the dam there's some structure over here I can flip to and maybe get a better fish to bite. But heck yeah. All right, it's time to try out the Ozark. Actually, real fast, I want to look at it in the water here and see what it looks like. Okay, so it falls fairly fast. I don't even remember the name of this thing anymore. Bodega, that's what it is. The Bodega. And the thing with this bait is, from my experience with it, is you don't fish it like a traditional Texas rig where you like kind of drag it on the bottom. So it gets a lot of its action as it's falling and it's giving that certain presentation, and then when it hits the bottom, it kind of sits there, and I'm hoping those big giant legs it's got kind of sit there and flutter. But honestly, I don't know. But I know at least with a worm, the vast majority of the bites we've gotten on it is on the fall. So I'm just kind of letting it hit the bottom, letting it sit for a minute, and seeing if anything's going to come up and look at it, and then I'm going to hop it and let it fall back down. We're going to try it like that. See if we can't get a bite on it. Alright, if I'm going to catch one anywhere, it's going to be right off this brush pile. It's the only good structure in this whole body of water. Just kind of stay back from it. Oh, I had him too. He was there. He was there. He hit it, but he didn't eat it. No. There he is. I knew he had to be there. I knew it. Yeah, you just weren't big enough to eat that bodega, were you, buddy? Alright. Well, last fish of the day. Little Busa Junior, Busa Ned getting it done. But overall, I'm really happy with all of them. The Busas are really cool worms, a little different. I like the ribs. It's a little just different design. I'm definitely going to be using them more in the future. I like the Ned. I like the Nikos. You know, you guys have seen has been a big deal for me lately, and I am going to catch a fish on that bodega. I'm hell-bent on doing it. I just got to figure out when and where it's a good bait to use. So but like always, guys, I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you next time.